We respectfully acknowledge that Wood Buffalo Regional Library is situated on Treaty 8 territory, the traditional lands of the Cree and Dene First Nations and Métis Nation. Hello, my fiendish friends. My name's Jessie, and welcome to our spooky Halloween episode of Book Bites, a video series brought to you by the Wood Buffalo Regional Library, where we show you some of the hidden treasures in our collection. The horror genre shows us what we're afraid of, and the best stories serve up scares and illuminate the anxieties that plague a collective culture. With the amazing job that publishing companies have been doing to publish authors of all walks of life, there's no better way to discover new frights than by reading diversely. Today I'm going to show you 5 books that may lead you into a thrilling realm of bold horror fiction from varying perspectives. Our first novel, Confessions by Kane Minato, was translated from Japanese. It's narrated in alternating voices and begins with a grief-stricken middle school teacher's last lecture to her students before her resignation at the end of the school year. It begins as a pleasant farewell speech, but dissolves into a bitter accusation where she alleges that 2 of her students murdered her young daughter. This kicks off a twisting story full of revenge, despair, and tragic love. Minato harnesses the creepy kid trope and takes it to a whole new level with this page-turning novel that will make you never look at a classroom the same way again. If you like a slow burn horror novel, then you will love the rural creature feature that Stephen Graham Jones makes in The Only Good Indians. 4 young Blackfoot men ignore the hunting boundaries of their community and kill a pregnant elk on land that is reserved for their elders. Years later, they are forced to answer for their selfish act when their prey becomes predator. Jones weaves a haunting and violent tale with themes of intergenerational trauma, substance abuse, and the resilience of community ties. If you enjoy this novel, be sure to check out Jones's other works, including his homage to classic horror tropes and slasher films, My Heart is a Chainsaw. Our next pick comes from best-selling Korean novelist Yoo Jong-jong, who has been lovingly nicknamed Korea's Stephen King. It's a creepy, insidious tale called The Good Son. Early one morning, 26-year-old Yoo-jin wakes up to find his mother's murdered body lying at the bottom of the stairs in his stylish Seoul duplex. Yoo-jin has had debilitating seizures his whole life that affects his memory, so he can't remember anything from the night before except for his mother calling his name. But was she calling for help or begging for her life? Nothing is as it seems in this claustrophobic, tense, and surprising tale of a mother and her son that would make even Norman Bates shudder. If you are drawn to cosmic horror, then Ring Shout by P. Djeli Clark may be up your alley. In 1915, the film, The Birth of a Nation, cast a spell across America, boosting the Ku Klux Klan's ranks and fueling racism for years to come. But what if white supremacy was not only a monstrous philosophy, but it was also enabled by actual, horrific, otherworldly monsters? The story opens up in 1922 in Georgia with a KKK rally. Amongst the garden variety racists are Ku Kluxes, demonic carnivores that plan to bring hell on earth. Standing in their way is Maurice Boudreaux and her fellow resistance fighters, a foul-mouthed sharpshooter and a Harlem hellfighter. In this novel, Clark weaves together early American history, African folklore, and socio-political tropes with thrills and chills that will stay on your mind long after you finish the last page. The horror is a bit lighter in our next, darkly satirical novel, My Sister the Serial Killer by Uyakan Braithwaite. When Corday's dinner is interrupted by a distress call from her sister Ayula, she knows how she must help, with bleach, rubber gloves, and her stomach of steel. This is the 3rd boyfriend that Ayula has dispatched in self-defense, with Corday cleaning up her lethal little sister's mess every single step of the way. She thinks about alerting the police for the good of the Nigerian men who have the misfortune to fall for Ayula. But family comes first, right? When Ayula sets her sights on Tade, a good-looking doctor that Korede has been trying to win over for years, she finds herself trying to warn him that her sister's relationships tend to end badly. Caught in between familiar and romantic love, Korede struggles with the obligation to help her sister and her patterns of enabling in this black, comical story. Thank you for joining me for this session of Book Bites. Tell us which scary story will be keeping you up at night during this eerie season in the comments below. And happy reading!